Swimming like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hey everybody, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank. I'm your host, Ted Jenkins, sitting here with my co-host, Lee Heisman, of course, the CEO of Savant. And today, we had a special guest on, Bob Preston, who is the CEO and the vision keeper of the Preston Partnership. You're going to have to learn more about it. You can always go to shrimptankpodcast.com, where you can hear an entire replay of the whole broadcast that we did with Bob today. And you can listen to the some 180 CEOs and entrepreneurs that we have interviewed here in the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia. You can always download our podcast at iHeartRadio, where we're a nationally syndicated podcast in the entrepreneurship section. You can always go to Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or anywhere on the internet to hear more of the Shrimp Tank.
Ted, that's a mouthful. Well done.
But you like that. You like
can hear us everywhere. So, Bob, when I hear architectural firm, I get a little lost because I really don't understand what an architectural firm does and if you specialize in anything. What is the Preston Partnership about, and what do you guys specialize in?
Well, we design buildings. First and foremost, fundamentally, from the ground up. And we have specialized, and we've chosen to specialize. Not all architectural firms do this, but we specialize really in multifamily, in retail, and in mixed use. And we've done projects pretty much all over the country in those categories. We don't really do libraries and healthcare and hospitals, et cetera. But that's the backbone of the firm. We've been doing that for 25 years or so.
When you build a company, one of the biggest challenges that I see is that you've got to be able to build culture. And especially in a business where it's highly competitive to get architects to work for your company, what are the things that you do at the Preston Partnership to build culture where somebody says, I want to stay, I can thrive at the company, I want to be there over the long term?
Well, I don't know, gosh, I don't know if you can boil that down to just one thing. It's got to be a fun place to work, you got to be able to produce. You have to care. You have to fundamentally be passionate about what it is that you do. I like to see that in my people. If I see that in my people and the folks I'm hiring, then I know there's going to be a good match. You have to give them the opportunity. You have to be able to cut them loose. You have to be able to guide them just enough, but also give them just enough rein to get out there and show that they can get it done on their own. I think they're really appreciative of that. That's the opportunity for growth. I think you got to look after them, and that could touch on a number of different things. It could be from salary and bonus and incentives to healthcare to vacation. Some people don't really care too much about how much money they want. They want a month off, and if they want a month off, we'll work a deal. We'll work it into the program so that they can join us. And maybe our standard is 2 weeks, but if it's really important to them that they have a month off, we'll give them a month off.
Some people want money and some people want time.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. I think you have to be flexible. I think you have to listen. It's got to be a two-way street. It always has to be a two-way street. Too often I hear from employees that they're moving on, they're looking for another opportunity because maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was a one-way street, and they didn't feel like they were nearly as cared about as they should have been. So that's been an important part of our success, just treating people right at the end of the day.
Bob, you've been a business owner now and an entrepreneur for decades. And for our listeners out there, what has been one of the biggest and what would you say is the secret sauce for what has helped you get as successful as you are?
If I had to boil it down to one thing, maybe communication. Yeah, maybe relationship building. It's service. It's looking after your clients. It's not just your clients. It's looking after your people, because in my business, if I don't have any people, I can't look after clients. So people, in some respects, kind of trump my clients, but it still relies on heavy communication with my people and relationship building pretty much on all levels, whether it's my people, whether it's my clients, my vendors, contractors, subcontractors. You have to touch out, I think, and connect. And I think it's increasingly difficult to do that in this age of technology.
Sure.
It was a lot easier to do it maybe 15 and 20 years ago. So for me, I don't have to work harder at it, but I have to work harder at getting people to the table to talk. Or meet, or look them in the eyes.
Talk, Bob. People want to send texts and emails.
Yeah.
Who wants to talk anymore?
Send me a text. Send me
so
an
if
email.
People want to get in touch, if they want to talk with you, send a text and email. If they want to communicate with you, how would they do so?
You could hit our website. It's PrestonPartnership.com. It's pretty easy to remember. Or you just give us a call, 770-396-7248.
Well, Bob, it was great to have you on the show today. And Lee, thanks for the wrap-up. And folks, if you think about being an architect, you can relate it a lot to the business that you may be able to build in your future. It starts with a dream, right? You've got to think about, what kind of building do I want to build? Once you do that, You actually have to draw the blueprint. This is exactly how you start from point A, and then you get to point B, and then you build the foundation. Like Bob talked about foundational today. You build that foundation of a great culture, great employees, great pay plan, and that's how you can build the skyscraper of your business in the future. Do all those things, you too can be as successful as the Preston Partnership, and that's your post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.